obsessed with. And why? I definitely have no interest in any modern men. Some of them are, obviously they're all dead, just because I've always been iconoclastic. I was and have been, and I still am, obsessed with Roddy McDowell. But I don't like Roddy past the very early 1970s. I don't like what happened to that industry. He was a fascinating man, dressed beautifully. There's no proof he was bisexual. That's all rumors on the internet. He had a relationship for 2 months at tops. That's it. He's basically a person who never was married, never had kids, was obsessed with salvaging old cinema, old Hollywood, silent films. And he was somebody that was dressed artistically. He was a person that loved clothes. He was an excellent photographer, and that is a visual art of some kind. And also cinema is a visual art, and I am a visual artist. I'm also an actress. I do act, but I never took acting lessons. It's always been natural. Comedy just comes very easily to me, and theatrical things, though I've never pinned myself and saying, well, you know, I'm an actress, because I've done actual little acting in terms of on stage. But I do a lot of acting on this channel, and it is live because it was filmed by a living person. And time does not exist, so it could be considered live. I mean, time doesn't exist, so whatever you do live is held in a time capsule. So also Sid Barrett of Pink Floyd, that was the other person. And he's not of Pink Floyd. He was the founder of a psychedelic band, Pink Floyd, pre-psychedelic, well, no, it was pre-stadium and commercial era. So he was, before they became very commercial, he was very artistic and beautiful. Gorgeous eyes, beautiful lips. Same thing with Roddy McDowell. Impeccably dressed, stylish, beautiful, extremely beautiful. And he was from Cambridge, and I was born in Princeton, New Jersey, which is very similar. Princeton and Cambridge are like sister cities. And he was a very interesting man. That was where Shakespeare is from. Now, the person that was making believe they're Sid Barrett, or they are Sid Barrett, Roger Keith Barrett, which is the same person, sent me a host of beautiful poetry, Shakespearean love poetry, that they were madly in love with me, extremely creative in their writing, adept at Shakespeare and literary endeavors. So he was just extremely literary, beautiful, poetic, romantic, and loving, and funny. And so it stuck in my head, who is this person? So 15 years went by. I guessed all these clues, his last name, his middle name, all these things he was alluding to, the fact that he was Sid Barrett. And he's a person that could be pushing 80 now. Nobody has any interest in him, hardly at all. So nobody's gonna give me attention for this video. So I just want to wrap it up that I have an obsession with vintage men, the 60s and pre-60s. Could be anything, could be somebody from ancient times, not primitive men, no. I don't have an obsession with primal or primitive men. That's why I don't have an interest in today's American English men, or even any men in today's world. Even the people from Canada, they might be more polite, but I don't have an obsession with them because they're modern men, and they don't fit into what I think of in terms of fashion and creativity and style, and it just doesn't fit into what I'm all about. Now, I started out with fashion illustration as a child. That's what I really loved, and also illustrating my short stories, and then it evolved into writing music, and then evolved into composing serious music. So right now, I really would like to tell you that I'm very obsessed with vintage men, ghosts. That's why they became ghosts, because they're dead. And of course, I allegedly received all these this artwork from somebody. Could be just an artist who loves Roger Keith Barrett, Sid Barrett, and sent me these portraits of Sid Barrett. Could be a self-portrait and his handwriting. Very strange. And I had a Polaroid of him from the backside, and all of the furniture and the decor and the colors of the walls matched up with his house in Cambridge. The green walls, the white rim, etc. The mole in his back. It was very sexual, but it was loving. He became crazy and mean at times, which really turned me off, and disrespectful. But sometimes it was extremely loving and romantic. I doubt it's him, but it could be that he did fake his death. That's really, really possible, and probably nobody is here giving attention to this video. It'll take forever to upload. Sometimes I really need a break from my life. So, yeah, I like style. I like art. I love cinema. I mean, these cars, they're, well built in some way, but I like vintage cars because they're heavy and stylish, but they're not aerodynamic, etc. So that's it today. Do I have an obsession with the 1990s rock star? Absolutely not. Have I wanted to have an affair with him? Absolutely not. And nor has he wanted to have an affair with me. If this was a real encounter on the internet, which I do not know, there was nothing sexual there. There was nothing sexual. There was nothing, and nobody was alluding to having an affair. This never ended up in an affair, and neither of us wanted an affair. That's fact. So if I came on a video recently and said, oh, this is dull, it has nothing to do with sex, and if you think that, you're delusional. The only people I've been thinking about are old, dead, well, they're not old, they're dead. Vintage men, that's it. Vintage films, fantasizing about what it would be like to be in bed with Roddy and Roger Keith Barrett, and that's it. I don't even have a lot of sexual fantasies about them. It's just hard to explain. Not really. No. It's just really the messages that I received from Roddy McDowell or a spirit, it could be another spirit, may not be him, it was very interesting, very fascinating when I channeled his spirit. I think the only other person that I kind of channeled was when I was a little kid. I channeled Socrates, but I never channeled Sid Barrett and his spirit. No, I never. Yeah, no. And this particular person was rude. I mean, and they were extremely loving, and it was volatile. I'm not turned on by volatile, rude, impolite men. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. That's how he speaks. And yeah, it's if Sid Barrett, Roger Keith Barrett, faked his death, he is not in England, and if he survived, he would be alive, and he's not in Europe now. If all of that mail came from him, and he faked his death. Now, he had a lot of connections in Cambridge, and he, we have a similar upbringing. I have all kinds of medical people in my family. Well, medical or scientific people. My father is 3 credits short of a PhD. He was an orphan and very underprivileged, and he majored in biology and humanities. He's a smart guy. And my cousin, he's a professor at Harvard University, and also he's among the 2 top chief neurologists in Harvard. Yes, he's won international prizes, numbers of them. $1 million prize in medical research, and another one, prize for life, helping people with ALS, and he's an inventor of technology. I have a lot of interesting people, and also Max Barrett, the synchronicity between his family and my family. I mean, Max Barrett, his father, was a leading pathologist and an inventor of some interesting modalities. Yes, in the field of medicine. So Roger wanted to be a doctor as well. So he was a very well-versed person, very multifaceted. He loved botanical gardens. He really had a lot in common with me. He had absolutely stunning eyes. He was gorgeous. And it wouldn't matter how old he was. I just loved him. I can't say that this is, wow, I want to marry you. No, I think I felt that way with Roddy, because he was never married, had no kids, and had only a 2-month relationship tops. And all over the internet, he's gay, he's gay, he's gay, you know. Well, and they said he was in the closet. Okay, if he was in the closet and never mentioned that he was gay, then you can't come on the internet and just spread a rumor he's gay without absolute proof, because anyone can spread a rumor. Anyone, and people have spread rumors about me that I've had sexual interest in people that I've not even thought about twice or even once. Okay, so I'm gonna get going now. Have a good day.